privacy, I'll keep it hush, hush. I'll stay down low for you. I like when it's just you and me, I'll keep it hush, 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 baby. I know you love your... Hey guys, it's Courtney
and Lex,
and you're listening to another episode of The Pleasure Is All Yours. If this is your first time rocking with us, we are here to encourage the sexual liberation of the Black and queer community. We want to learn and laugh and just really emphasize that the pleasure is
all yours.
It's all yours, boo. What's up, bitch?
Just another Sunday, hot and humid in Tejas, unfortunately.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, my allergies are like running rampant, bitch. I've been going to sleep every night with, like when you go to sleep and you're fine and then you wake up at like 2 a.m. and your nose is just blocked. Like you have one of those bad dreams where you can't breathe.
Yeah.
That was my life. But I have figured out a trick. Mm-hmm. Do you get stuffy nose?
Not often, but I get night sweats really bad.
Oh my God. Is that an allergy thing?
I don't know, but that is usually what wakes me up is because I get really hot and then I'm uncomfortable. And so I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I? What the fuck is going on? Why am I? Ugh.
And it's like no matter how cold you keep the room, you just kind of get night sweats?
No. I mean, yeah, sometimes it really surprises me because I'm like, the fan's on high. It's not technically hot in this room, but I'm literally like burning up. I don't really know what that is, but it's a new development in the last couple of years. So I'm just assuming that it's coming with age and hormones.
Oh, probably, bitch. Sounds like a hormonal thing.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever have a stuffy nose, you take your 2 fingers and you massage your sinuses down. And like, I knew this and I've done this before, but it didn't really work like that. But I was so frustrated this weekend that I just sat and I did it for like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Bro, after like the first like 5 minutes, you can feel like everything moving down your throat. Like you really can. You can feel like your ears relax and like my nose just slowly started to open up. And my friend told me if you get an ice cube and you like rub it like this on it, it also releases some of the pressure.
Love it.
So I really like that I found out a little trick to save myself because I would cry. Like I'm a crier. Like when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah. Oh my God. It makes it so much worse. Or like my nose will start itching and I know like it's clear. And then if I go like this or, scratch your nose, it's just instant. It's back to stuff. Oh, the most frustrating. This happens from the transition to spring into summer, like it is now, and then the transition from fall into winter happens every time. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I just feel I spend so much of my time outside feeling like an armpit. Like that's what I feel like.
Just sweat?
Ugh, and like sticky and like don't touch me, don't get too close to me. If you want to hold my hand, we can hold pinkies.
Oh. And
that's as much as I got for you because I feel like a armpit. And it's just not cute. Like, and
you can only take off so many clothes.
Yeah.
When you're going out
and
somewhere.
I also was just not really wearing much of anything anyway. Yeah. So it is also really irritating when I'm sweaty and I'm like not really wearing anything. Yeah. Because it's like
nowhere to go.
What you want me to do?
You're just going to have to stay hot and sweaty.
And I don't like that.
Have you heard of that Lumi product?
Lumi.
Yeah, for some reason it gets all over my TikTok. Like every other ad, it's like a lotion. But it's like a deodorant, like antiperspirant lotion, but it's all natural. It doesn't have like aluminum or something in it.
I'm scared of those.
It's a cream, but like the lady is always talking about how you can put it like in between your thighs and your crotch, like under your boobs. And it's not like, it doesn't turn into a powder. It just like prevents you from sweating, but it's all natural. So it doesn't have like that nasty stuff.
It's not that. Just I already get like, especially under my boobs when it's hot and sweaty. I don't know if TMI. I don't know if anybody's had a pimple on the underside of their tit. Yeah, like right in the hair follicle. Awful stuff.
That's that summertime shit.
Yeah, so I get them really bad in the summer, and like it just gets really uncomfortable. So that's why I'm like, if I can't hop in a pool at least once while we're out doing stuff, I'm gonna be very upset.
But I think if you keep it dry, it might help with those irritation
bumps.
But
it's just it's not the bumps. It's just I'm afraid of having even more sweat being pushed into my pores. Because for me, because of how big my titties are, that is, I feel like, one reason as to why I get them. And I get them right underneath. And I don't see them unless I like lift them and move them. And I'm like, oh my God, where did that come from? I feel like the sweat and everything and all the oil from my skin is what causes it.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to put something that's going to make all of that stuff stay in.
Yeah.
I don't like antiperspirant deodorants anyway. Okay. I don't like those because it just makes me itchy. Like it makes me itchy.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't like it.
Girl, you might throw some baby powder on and call it a motherfucking day.
Hey, I might just have to wear pants. Oh, I might have to wear. I might have to start wearing underwear.
That makes it worse for me. That's what I was trying to say. Like I have too big of one of those in my butt crack. So like whenever I'm wiping, I can feel the two big ones, and I know it's because I'm getting swamp ass because it's so hot. Yeah. And part of that is like, if I don't wear underwear, which is what I've been doing, then the sweat has just has places to go. Yeah. But if I do wear underwear, then it, like you said, it gets trapped under there and it makes it infected and worse. I was wearing
fishnets when I was sweating, and I didn't have any undies on, so I felt like that was helpful because the fishnets, no matter how much sweat I'm putting out, the fishnets are gonna fishnet and it's gonna absorb everything that's trickling down. Okay, but if I'm wearing a skirt and I'm not wearing fishnets or tights underneath, you will see little droplets of sweat running down my legs, and I just don't think that's very cute.
I get it. Summer's hard,
especially for a bitch, like a bitch with a figure, a bitch with titties, a bitch with ass. Like,
if you guys have any suggestions for the thick bitches to stay dry, let us know in the comments, please.
Because I'm suffering. Bitch. We're suffering in these streets.
Well, if you've listened to our show before, we try to start every episode with a pleasure moment / fun fact, depending on the week. And today we have both. Okay, so and if you don't know what a pleasure moment is, it's just a part of your week that felt good in the midst of all the shittiness that is living under a capitalistic society. And I'll say it again.
Yeah.
What's your pleasure moment?
I knew you. I was like, I actually have been trying to think of my pleasure moment all week. But I've been in this really weird mood for a while. And I don't know. I just, everything that happens, I'm like, okay, great. This didn't take away my ever-growing issues. I guess, like, last night was really fun because me and Red bought an edible. For those, I don't know I hope that if you don't know who Red is, what's the episode? Go back to the Girl Code episode and you will completely find out who this person is.
7 months going well.
Going well. Going
no drama.
Well. No drama. And that's because it's literally like
low stakes.
Low stakes. It literally is I like you. I like spending time with you. You like spending time with me. I don't want shit else. I don't want no strings. I don't want but let's hang out and let's also be friends and let's also have great sex.
So what did you guys do yesterday?
So yesterday we bought an edible, like a brownie. She can, half of the brownie is 25 milligrams, which is great. That's a great dose for me. That's a great, I'm high and I'm almost too high. Okay. But for her, she had to cut the half into 4 pieces and eat one of the quarters. She has to eat an eighth of
a quarter of a quarter.
Yes, literally, she ate an eighth of the brownie, and then we smoked a little bit. We went down to the pool, and she has a jacuzzi, but it's not warm. It's not a warm one, and that is the only thing. But we just hung out in the jacuzzi, and we were really high. And the other people got out of the jacuzzi, so we were just being really flirty and touchy and stuff. So that was really fun. And then we literally went upstairs, and she was so high. She was like, "I want French toast from IHOP."
Oh my God!
And so we ordered IHOP, DoorDash, and watched Salt.
I saw it was on Hulu or Netflix.
Netflix.
So it was on I fucking love that movie.
Angelina Jolie as Evelyn Salt is fabulous. But yeah, that's literally all we did. We did not do anything. And it's so funny because her roommate was I guess they could see because her roommate and some of her friends were down there also, so they could probably just see us being gay in the jacuzzi. And she was like, when we went and told her we were going upstairs, she was like, "You guys have fun." And Red was like, "I just think it's so funny that she thinks all that we do is have sex all the time."
Shit, when y'all are as beautiful as you are, that's all I think. I'm like, yep, I would be all the time.
And like, it's really just every now and then. Honestly,
and
it's not even
nice.
all the time. It's literally like, let's hang out and cuddle and watch a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those nights. Okay, so that sounds good. I like a night. Was it at night that you went swimming?
It was night, yeah.
Yes, the best.
And it was hot. It was still really hot, so it was perfect. Except the fucking jacuzzi had sand in the bottom.
Like on purpose?
I don't know, because not the whole bottom had sand on it.
Where did the sand come from?
Okay, that's my question. Because then after a little while of us being in the jacuzzi, it's like, is it just me or are you itchy? Yeah,
maybe
like,
they were treating it, but they should have put something on it.
Yeah,
for treating
I
it.
don't even know. And like my hand started like burning and itching. Like my left hand was like burning and itching. And then she was like, "My back is like it like burns and it itches." And I'm like, "Don't scratch it, don't scratch it." And then I started seeing like little red spots on her shoulder, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe we should get out of this water."
Oh my god, do you feel better now?
Yeah, we feel better now.
That's
but
crazy.
Even after I took a shower, I was like, "My hand is burning. Like, what the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was my pleasure moment, bitch? Oh, no. Whoa. Can it be? I know we recorded on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we did a pleasure moment or not. I'll just.
No.
It happened last Sunday. Okay, bitch. So it's still in the week. I don't know. I went to Hudson House with my fam, which is like a nice little seafood oyster kind of restaurant, but it's like, I don't know. They have the best martinis.
They do have the best martinis.
I fucking love their martinis.
There's
Happy
nothing
hour.
like a Hudson House lemon drop. You have not had a real lemon, like, I don't know. Now every time I go to somewhere else and I order a lemon drop and they don't have that fucking foam on the top with the sugar,
Bitch,
I'm like,
what y'all doing?
Y'all need to go talk to Hudson at his house, okay? Because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the lemon drops are fantastic. I'm more of an espresso martini bitch. So
But those are good too. They have that banana nut one that's really good.
So good. That's what I got on Sunday too.
Yeah.
But I went with my family to celebrate my dad's birthday, and I spent some time with my little cousin, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but also a lot of fun. I love her to death. She's so cute. She's like 15. So I think my pleasure moment was actually spending time with my family.
Yeah.
Since I haven't had time to really do that in a while. I tried oysters. I liked them.
I didn't like the way you described what the texture was.
No, the texture is like a big ball of sputum. That's how I described it, going down your throat. But the taste, though, was pretty good. It wasn't super fishy. I tried it with the not horseradish. I don't know. It was just, I think it was, bitch.
It gives me that feeling in my wrists. I don't like it. I hate that.
Well, yeah, but it was good. I was slurping them up. I looked good while I was doing it. So that was my pleasure moment. Small but mighty, because the rest of my week was absolute insanity at my job. I'm so ready. I'm ready to stab some bitches. I'm ready to go. But fuck it, we ball. I will be calling out of work tomorrow because it's Juneteenth. So why the fuck am I working in the first place?
Yeah. So I've actually been deciding on whether or not I want to take that attendance point and not go to work tomorrow.
Bitch, think about it. Does Red work tomorrow? Because a lot of corporate.
No.
Yeah, a lot. Mostly like the really.
Yeah, but her company has been around for like ages. Ages. You say that name and everybody's like, oh shit. So, I mean, she definitely has the day off. So nice. But my job is like, well, you don't get the day off, but you get time and a half. So I'm like,
I wish I got fucking time and a half for working on my bloody holiday.
Yeah.
Y'all made me work on Martin Luther King Day. I'm not with it. Y'all made me work all of February. I'm not with it.
It's Pride Month and you still have me collecting hours? Crazy. Just send me the check.
I will be calling out of work. I really hope that this does not bite me in the ass, me putting this on camera. But also, what did I say last week? If they find me, bitch, I will quit. Also, but if y'all know where I work, do not do that.
Yeah. Don't be the ops, please.
Please. Okay, we do have a fun fact. And speaking of Juneteenth, I just wanted to give a brief history of our beautiful holiday because we are Texan bitches.
And Dallas, has Opal Lee, so,
What's Opal Lee?
Opal Lee is the reason, she's like a big part of the reason why Dallas has...
Oh, okay.
Why there is in North Texas, why there is a huge thing. She's still alive.
Oh, wow.
The Juneteenth parade is the Opal Lee Juneteenth parade, and she leads it in her little wheelchair on her little thing.
That. So she's like she just organizes the event here in Dallas for the DFW.
I think that's her thing is this is I don't know, because I know that there's also a person who's in charge who did the same thing in Galveston. Because I'm from Galveston's where it originated, obviously, but like I'm guessing she like brought it also to there, or she was
Black
like
women.
a part of the whole thing happening in Galveston or something.
Okay.
They would tell her story, but it would be too hot outside for me to be paying attention to what that woman's saying.
Yeah, I wish. So yes, our fun fact today is going to be about Juneteenth, since we are Texas born and bred babes.
Yeah.
I was not born in Texas, so I want to retract that statement. But I was raised here, so.
I feel like, how long did you stay there when you were a baby?
I was only in Oklahoma for like 6 years. I think I moved here when I was 5.
Okay, so then never mind. I was like, oh, if your mom was just out there and then like she just happened to go into labor there.
Oh no,
bitch, that don't count. Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm like, bitch, that don't count. No, but okay,
bitch, they was there for a long time.
Okay, yeah.
Well, like
Oklahoma, 25 years. Okay, however you spell it, Oklahoma, like HOMA.
Oh, okay. Where are we going?
She said, what?
Okay, y'all. Juneteenth is a holiday celebrated by most Southern Black people, recognizing the very last plantation to receive word of the Emancipation Proclamation by Lincoln in 1862. So he proclamated the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862 for it to go into effect on January 1st of 1863. Okay, got it. So January 1st, 1863, Lincoln basically said, hey, yo, free these niggas. They got to be free. And so then they were free everywhere except for Galveston. So as they went down the list, the last one was Galveston, Texas, and they got there June 18th of 1865. So 2.5 years after your friends in Mississippi were done with slavery.
Your friends in Louisiana even right next door. Them niggas like frolicking through a field without having to worry about massa, and here you are still scrubbing that man's toes.
And the word got out. Like, I know that the last slaves in Texas were like, damn, what the fuck is going on?
Any day now, we gonna be free. Any day now. They had them bags packed and ready.
They did. Yeah. But here we are, 1865, June 18th. Governor Gordon something. He was white.
He's a white man.
I don't know. A Union soldier basically said, you guys got to let them go too. So 2.5 years later, Galveston, Texas, freed their final slaves, and Texas was a free state at the end of the Civil War. So yay. Now we celebrate Juneteenth every 19th of June. That's why it's called Juneteenth. It's like a combination of June and 19th. Very Black. I love that.
Yeah. And now white people get to get off work and celebrate it too, since they made it a federal holiday
in 1980. So it took over 100 years. And I'm sure Opal Lee did have, that was part of it, was that she probably worked in 1980 to help make this a federal holiday. Mm-hmm. So now it is. So some people have off of work.
Yeah, because she marched. Yeah. Because she marched like a really long distance that like brought like a whole like I'm picking up pieces. I'm picking up pieces of what I know about her. But yeah, she was like a huge deal. I'm pretty sure they marched all the way there to Washington.
Oh my God, that's
from
amazing.
Galveston.
I'm about to do my motherfucking research.
Yeah.
So we love Juneteenth. Now we barbecue and we dance and we be fucking Black and merry on the weekend, and then we all fucking probably go to work on Juneteenth, because most Black people don't have the luxury of working somewhere where federal holidays, unless you are a like UPS man, USPS man.
Oh, you work for the mail.
You work for the bank.
Yeah.
Grassy you. Congratulations. I work in healthcare, so the answer is no. People die every day, bitch. Yeah. Even on Juneteenth.
Yeah. Well, we were dying for years, so I feel like make them white niggas work then. Make them niggas work and let me go home. Set me free like they set my niggas free on Juneteenth, but you're holding me hostage. This is feeling very racist. That's how we get the day off.
I am literally drafting the email right now, and it's literally going to say that. Free me, nigga. Free this nigga. Massa, I don't have to work for you no more.
Like, literally.
Bitch, you're so smart. I love you. Okay, that was
I brought it up in our team huddle on Friday. I was, like, literally, it was dead silent, and I just turned my mic on, and I was like, so, Memorial Day we left early. Do we get to leave early for Juneteenth also, or is that just for that day? Pin drop silence, and then my supervisor was like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, I'm serious.
Who are we memorializing on Memorial Day? I'm not trying to be funny.
I'm not trying to be funny either.
Soldiers or is it like
hey, listen,
people that have passed that year?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
White people.
Because I know Labor Day is also a thing, and I'm like, I thought that was where we celebrated.
I thought Labor Day was like, I always thought Labor Day was like something about workers' rights or something like that because labor, but like,
you know, that make a lot of sense.
But I don't think that's what that holiday is for.
I do get Labor Day off of my reg job, but you know, like if you work retail or restaurant or anything else, you're not getting Labor Day off. Bitch. You're working harder actually that day.
I don't get Labor Day off, but I do get time and a half.
That's so crazy.
On the days that you're supposed to have off, that they feel like you should have off,
you're supposed to get
they'll
time
at
and a
least
half.
give us time and a half.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. That's like $26 an hour.
Anyway, eventually we were going to get to the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Yeah. Eventually. This is what happens every episode.
So it's still June, thank God. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Third week around the sun.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think this will be our last episode.
No, it won't be because next week is June 26th. So
the first is the
Sunday is June 26th. It's 27th, 28th, 29th. I think the episode should release on the 29th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, no, the 28th.
Okay, cute.
Yay! I love having another week. So this is our third installment of our Pride series. And I know last week we did coming out. The week before that, we talked about bisexuality and being like the best parts of being gay and all that stuff. And I just kind of wanted to scale it back a little bit and talk about something like lighter. Okay. And so I chose to discuss the Ultimatum queer love.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know if you are queer, you're probably very excited to watch the show. Just because, I mean, we don't get a lot of those dating kind of shows.
Yeah, we don't.
They did Are You the One season 8, which is the queer season, and hallelujah. Fucking fantastic television. If you guys like Are You the One or you've ever seen it and you haven't seen the queer season, it's so messy. Everybody's so hot. Everybody's fucking each other. It is really the best. They have there's like a fivesome of like the 5 hottest girls in the house, and they all have sex together, and it's fantastic. But yeah, so I wanted to discuss queer love because it kind of has a different connotation. Instead of everybody just kind of being slutty together on Are You the One, the queer love ultimatum was about couples that were already established coming to make a decision about whether they wanted to continue down the road of towards marriage with each other or separate. So they came in as a couple, and then they got to switch and be couples with somebody else in the experiment, and then go back to their own partners and make that decision. Yeah.
And just a disclaimer, if you have not seen it and you do not want any spoilers, maybe just
don't watch this episode.
Tune back in to the epi once you watch it.
If you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, if you don't want spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers, then
it's already all over TikTok.
Buckle up.
Babe.
Yeah.
Like I pulled most of the tea information from fucking TikTok. So yeah. First I wanted to talk about the drama, of course, and you know, I have the couple separated to kind of make it a little easier so we can just talk about one at a time.
Yeah.
First, we have Mal and Yoli. I want to say their pronouns and Mal.
Like Mallory.
Is it Mallory? Her name is Mallory.
I'm guessing her full name is Mallory.
Oh wow. Okay, Mal. Yeah. So Mal and Yoli. Mal is Afro-American. Or she's Afro-Caribbean actually.
Yes.
Her dad's like Dominican. And then Yoli is Latina. And
fuck a bitch named Yoli.
I put as the basis of the relationship, I put step your game up, because they went into the ultimatum because Yoli felt like Mal wasn't prepared to take on like the big roles of marriage. Like, how are they going to afford to have a kid? Because as you know, queer people have to really intentionally decide when they want to have a kid and then save up to have a kid, because no matter what, you're going to be spending thousands of more dollars in a hetero couple to make that decision happen, most likely. But also because Mal felt like her bank account wasn't up to standards for that.
Yeah, I feel like they personally were a couple that I was like, what the fuck are you on this show for? Because at the very beginning, Mal literally said like, I want to marry you, but I want my bank account to be in order before we start doing these things. And I feel like that's pretty logical and pretty considerate to her partner and their future children. So I was very confused from the first episode why they were even on the show, because it started to feel more like someone was just looking for a way out, and this would be a good way to get a way out.
Like, why does Mal have to prove herself in that way if she already, like you said, I want to get married, I just want to get some shit together first. Yeah. In Yoli's defense, in this case, I'll say it's hard it's hard to trust somebody. If you've been together for 3 years, right, and you're still not ready, it's hard to trust that they'll be ready in a year or two, because it's like, well, we had these last 3 years for you to like get ready. So like, now are you just starting to get ready? What does that plan look like? I feel like there's a lot of reasons I understand Yoli, but you're right. Like, at the end of the day, they didn't need to be on the show, because that's not the problem, because Mal wanted to get married.
That was, and like getting ready, like even them getting ready could have even, instead of going on the show, it could have even looked like, okay, well, if we're going to get ready, this is what we need to start doing. And like, why just have it all up to the other partner to like get the plan going?
True.
And things like that. Like, I don't know.
True. I don't know. What did she say? One of her dumbass reasons was like, I don't want our child to have to go to the bathroom and all we have in the bathroom is one-ply toilet paper, the backup toilet paper.
Oh my God. When she started talking about that, I was like, you are fucking worried about the wrong shit. You're toilet worried paper? About the wrong shit. What's so irritating about children is that 1-ply, 4-ply, what the fuck ever, them niggas gonna get the biggest bunch their little hands can fit. So you want to get the 4-ply, bitch, your toilet's going to be stopped up all the time because this nigga think that he need the whole roll to wipe his ass.
Bitch, I have been, like I said, in a TikTok hole. And so Yoli mentions that because somebody said, girl, you were tripping about the 1-ply toilet paper. And she was like, guys, you don't understand. As a mother, I don't want to have to deal with the 1-ply toilet paper ripping while my child is using it. And then they got shit all over their hands and it just becomes a big mess that I have to clean up. And I'm like, you know, that makes a little bit of sense, girl. But at the end of the day,
is that happening?
You did not have to call Mal out like that in that way. It was over some toilet paper. That's crazy.
Listen. And then Mal saying that other person that she connected with was her typical type. I'm like, so now everything is feeling a little anti-black now.
And
now
that's what she said.
Anti-black now. When at the reunion, when Mal said you were a dangerous person for me to be around, I was like, oh shit, felt it. Oh my God, Jesus.
It's very clear which one we liked more in that couple. However, at the end of this episode, I will be talking about the tea as well from after the show.
Oh, yeah, because you did send me a TikTok.
Okay, so the next couple we have is Xander and Vanessa. Mm-hmm. And the vibe for that couple was like, do you even love me? Or do you even want marriage at all, much less with me? That's Xander is the one that gave the ultimatum to Vanessa. Mm-hmm. Vanessa, throughout the whole series, up until like kind of the reunion, was the villain, like, to me, of the season.
I do not agree.
And I mean, I don't agree now, but I'm saying like leading up to it, Vanessa's like, they really made Vanessa seem like that is like the meat of the show. Like, Vanessa's sexually promiscuous. She's okay with just like leaving Xander out to dry while she's with Ray. She's like overstepping boundaries. She's manipulating the castmates, and she was. But I think that's more of her being a narcissist than it is being like a bad person.
I felt like she was just like, whenever she was on screen, I felt like it definitely was like, it was giving air sign to me, because like you're telling everybody that you like them and that you want to like do these things with them, you know, which I think is like, I don't know. I thought it was just funny because I'm like, she's literally putting on her best face to try to figure out, like, she's trying to match whoever she's being with, like whatever this other person, she was trying to match it. Also, so like, I don't know, I just feel like she gave, like, her energy to me was giving very misguided and very like sort of not taking it seriously.
Yes, very much that.
And that was not, there was in no way that could give me a accurate like an accurate assumption of who she is as a person, because she was putting up a front the whole time, and you could tell she was putting up a front. So like, you know, this bitch is putting up a front, but you're still like, I hate this bitch. Like, she's obviously putting up a front from the beginning, especially when like Lexi points out the flaw in like how she was thinking. Like, that's when she was like, oh shit, wait, okay, wait. I feel like after that episode, she was like, oh, I wasn't really thinking of it like that. I was thinking of it more so like, I'm just trying to figure my shit out and figure out if this is where I want to be.
Yeah, but she
like,
was doing that at the cost of other people. And I think,
which is shitty.
And
which is shitty.
Yeah, and that's shitty. And I also think like a lot of her explanations for things were like not explanations; they were like excuses. Like she's like, well, like you're like, I was doing this for me. I just thought this. It seemed like you wanted to be with me, and it's just like I just based on the editing, I didn't see how any of the things that she was confused about would have gotten confused in her eyes, but she was so focused on herself. So I don't think she's the villain in that. Like, she wasn't the worst person on the show. I did think that for a few episodes, especially the first ones, because she was showing her ass.
I could just tell she was showing her ass. Bitch, that don't seem that whole thing that she was doing did not seem genuine to me. So it's like my thing when I was watching her was like, well, I can't wait for somebody to reality check her.
Yeah, and they did multiple times.
Yeah, so they could reality check her, so then we can see who this bitch really is. Yeah. And at that point, you do, especially when she starts having her epiphanies. And like, I understand like the whole thing with her and Ray and like some of the comments she was making, especially when Ray was like upset. Being a bitch who has been around people that is like, you start getting emotional and they don't know what to do, so they start cracking jokes. That's what that also was giving to me. Like, I don't know.
To me, it made it seem like she wanted people to think of her a certain way, and so what she would do is like respond to everybody, like the way that she wanted. How do I put this? Like, someone would call her out, and she would still make it seem like they weren't mad at her. Like, you know how like when Xander and her were getting into an argument, she was like, okay, I'm actually going to sit in your lap right now. And I'm going to put all my hands on you, and I'm going to kiss on you, and I'm going to really make it seem like we are doing this together. Like, every time she talked to Xander, it was like, this, and this, and this. And Xander was like, girl, it's very clear I'm not feeling you. But she's trying to like make this image for TV. Like, I'm not the bad guy here, so I'm going to be this big person. I'm just like, no, accept that. Don't hide the fact that you did these things.
I guess I didn't see it I guess I didn't see her like doing it for that. Like, oh, I don't know. I felt like it's like okay, this is uncomfortable, this is weird. Even that part that you're talking about where she sits in his lap, I'm just thinking like, okay, this is a really intense conversation, but I still want to show you that I love you. So, and she even said, I'm going to sit in your lap. Is that okay? She asked. But
Xander didn't really say, she was just like, okay, because what is she supposed to say? Like, no, don't come sit in my lap. It just felt like every time somebody was calling her out, she made the moment about how she was uncomfortable with people calling her out. And I didn't like that. So I don't think that she's the villain at the end. Yeah. You know, I think we'll talk about at the end. She handled her shit really well. And, you know, she did come out in the reunion saying she had a lot of epiphanies about who she was, and she didn't like that version of herself. But this was 3 years ago, mind you, 2020. They filmed it in the almost fall of 2021. So like, they're looking back at this shit and they're like, this was so long ago and I've done the work. I hear that. I'm just saying my perception of her in the show was like very manipulative and very narcissistic until she felt uncomfortable enough to change that,
well, I guess like the reunion is also what made me like her acknowledging her behavior and also like apologizing to everyone that she affected definitely changed the way I saw
me too
everything from start to finish, because and it just solidified when she said that I always try to be this person, and this, as soon as she said that, I was like, bitch, I could tell though. Like every moment where you were doing that I could fucking tell. So it was like, I can't take this bitch seriously because she not even taking shit seriously. But I also can't hold that against her because like obviously everybody's there trying to figure shit out, you know, and then realizing that the person that you came there with is also falling in love with someone else. That's gonna make even more emotions. This is gonna push even more of those things out. So it's like, but I intellectualize everything, so there is that as well. So
what sign do you think she is then?
I don't know. She was giving air sign, or she was giving fucking Cancer. I don't know, but she was definitely giving Gemini.
She's a Virgo.
Oh, that's
interesting. I wouldn't have put that as a Virgo. As a Virgo. I thought she was a Leo. From the way she was acting, I just thought she was a Leo. It was very all about me, like very everybody needs to love me, very spotlight. I'm gonna make it about me. If it's not about me, I'm gonna make it about me. And I really think she did that a lot. Regardless of her apologies for it in the reunion, I totally get that. But right now we're talking about the show because I had some things that I wanted to say about Mal and Yoli, but that didn't happen during the show. I found out about it after, so I'm like, okay.
But even finding out about that, I don't know. I guess finding out about that, it's like one of those things where I see things on TikTok and I take it lightly because like oh, my friend is a friend of.
Well, I didn't get this from that. This wasn't a friend. The one I sent you was, but I did my research. But cool, we'll talk about it. Hold up. So Sam and Aussie are the next ones. That one is just. That one. I wanted to shoot myself. Deal with.
Every time Aussie was on screen, I wanted to shake that bitch. I was like, "You're 42?
40. She's the oldest one in the group.
You're 42, and this how you acting, babes?"
And Sam, really, she was the most like, she came in very calm and healed, and she came out even more calm and healed and confident. Like, I think she just really found her voice, and I love Sam.
She said, "Bitch, you ain't about to talk to me like that, and you gonna let me speak when I'm speaking, ho."
I liked Sam with Tiffany. I liked Sam with Aussie because Sam was doing the work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I didn't like Aussie at all. When I tell you that was like that, she is on my villain list for I have 4 villains for the season, and that bitch is number 4.
She just shouldn't have been on the show because they shouldn't have been on the show because that's some therapy shit to deal with right there. Every single confrontation, they got up and they left. Every single time anybody tried to tell Aussie anything, it was immediately like, I can't handle.
Give me a moment.
I can't handle this. Mate, I can't handle this right now.
And when they were in the bed and she started calling her mate, and then she's like, "You're being an ass to me," and she's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Yo, I would." Oh my God, I wanted to fucking hit her.
When Sam had to keep talking to them like a baby, like, so do you need me to turn down the air? Do you want me to stop talking about it? We need to eat our food? Okay. And Aussie was like, yeah, right now, mate, I'm really just trying to eat my food and I really need to focus on this.
Even you saying her name, like she said Mildred's name. And
Mildred.
Who named?
I actually understood that.
Why you name that girl that? How you look at a baby and name them Mildred?
Like in 1980 something. That's really crazy. And like we'll talk about Mildred and Tiff next, but like Aussie and Mildred together, awful combo because they fed into each other. It's like they both came with these issues, but they both made it worse for each other because Mildred came in acting a fool, talking all the shit that she wanted to talk about. But at the same time, if I was with Aussie and Aussie wanted to continually try to leave or like try to make it seem like I'm attacking them, that's gonna set me off. Like I'm feeling myself get caught up right now because every time I'm really just trying to talk to you and you can't even let me talk to you before all of a sudden you're shutting down. Like I can't say one word about anything you do before you shut down.
How much warning do I have to give you to have a conversation with you?
I have experience with always feeling like the fucking like bad guy or the villain or like the aggressor. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Have your moment, Aussie, but we gonna talk about this when we come back.
Yeah.
I don't really have any more to say about fucking Aussie. Sam was perfect to me.
Sam
beautiful woman.
Sam and Mal were probably the most put together partners. I wanted to put Lexi on the list. I wanted to, but then
I would say that. Yeah.
But then here's my problem. How are you so wrapped up in who you are and what you want as a person that someone else not aligning with you bugs you that much to the point where you're calling them Voldemort? That's what I want to know. Babes, do you wish that you could be like that? Do you wish you could be so free and like, ooh?
I will say that
and the way she treated Ray and like the way she taught, like all of that really was so telling to me. Like I'm like, I understand your feelings being heard. That is always 100% valid every single time. But like, I don't know, like you being so upset just because it's this one specific person also was like blowing me.
Yeah, you could tell it was very personal. What really got me, and I need to watch the clip again because I'm honestly still confused to this day. When Lexi and Vanessa went on the date, and like Vanessa said something, and Lexi, the switch happened right there. I don't remember what Vanessa said.
So Vanessa was just saying basically, you know, Xander loves me. Xander was saying like, I am his one, like blah, blah, blah. And then that's when Lexi was like, well, Xander could be falling in love with another person right now. And then that's when Vanessa was like, but he said he loved me. He said that he wanted to leave here with me. And then that's when Lexi was like, you're so wrapped up in being Xander's only one and you making it seem like you're the only one who's going to like be making connections here is like self-centered or something like that. And then she was like, well, now my question is, well, what the fuck are your reasons for being here anyway? Like, what is the point for you being here? If you don't see marriage the way I do, then what the fuck are you here for anyway?
Vanessa said that she didn't even know if she could get married, that she thought she might want to like an open relationship or have multiple partners or something like that.
And that's when Lexi was like, excuse me.
Lexi is so Republican coded, and this is like,
she was using her titties
big
to
tits,
get by,
blonde hair, ass bitch. And but I think she's Jewish because her last name is Goldberg, and her dad is a jeweler. And so she's giving like upper echelon. And I was just like, this is a lot of opinions. This is a lot of like, everything should be exactly how I want it to be. And Ray was just sitting there like quiet as a mouse, just like trying to figure her shit out. She's like, I just don't know who I am.
That part on the beach where she was like crying, like that shit was like, I'm like, I don't know. That's literally your partner reaching out to you and being like, I literally am so emotionally twisted up about myself and about this whole situation, and I don't know, and I don't see the value in myself and what I bring to other people. And then it's like, yeah, but you still did this, and you still hurt me, and I still don't know how to look at you, and I don't even want to fucking touch you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's so
crazy.
hurtful. That is so hurtful.
That's insane. She's reaching out to you and telling you, I feel worthless. I don't, like, do I even deserve you? Yeah. Do I deserve love in general? Do I deserve to be married and have a partner? And, Lexi was irritating me.
And then for them to have the conversation about the Fingergate with her parents, with Lexi's parents, I was like, this poor Ray being forced to sit here with her two parents and be like, you let this girl finger you, and for what? What was your reason for letting this girl finger you? I was just like, damn, bitch, this is a private conversation.
First of all, making your partner have a conversation like that in front of your parents is wild. That's wild. And to me, extremely inconsiderate to your partner.
Yeah.
Totally fine if that's like one of your best friends, like that's different. But like your parents, and it's like, it's almost like a guilt trip to me, because it's like you're saying how much your parents love me and how much your dad is like, I can't believe that Ray would do something like this to you, and A, B, and C and all this other stuff. Like,
but then she said that shit about like, she was like, my dad loves the way I treat you, but he doesn't love the way you treat me.
Bitch, go suck his dick, dude.
Oh my God.
Relax.
You're so messy. That's Lexi and Ray, bitch. We'll talk about the endings to everybody in a few minutes. Yeah. And then the last one was Tiff and Mildred.
Yikes.
They shouldn't even been on the show because they had communication
and
issues.
It was only a year. I was like, they were only together for a year. I was like, and then she's talking about how she got an ex-wife and she got a baby daddy. And whenever she was saying, like, I knew she wasn't trying to get married for love, and this is how I knew. Because when she started talking about her kid and something else, she was like, who's going to take care of my kid? Mm-hmm. Who's going to... As soon as she started saying that, I was like, babe, you're looking for a provider, and you might want to go find a cishet man to do that.
Yeah. I mean, in her defense, he's disabled and he's 16. Yeah. And so she's like, I will have to take care of him for the rest of my life. And I'm over here thinking, like, that is a lot. Like, if I was Tiffany, that's a lot to consider. Yeah. And Tiff was already saying that she didn't have the best relationship with him. Yeah. And that, there's times where she's felt uncomfortable and they both felt uncomfortable. So it's like, damn, I wouldn't want to get married after a year if we can't even figure out this kid shit. Yeah. And you yelling at me all the motherfucking time.
Can't even hear myself think, babes.
That's crazy. Their communication was awful. And then I will say Tiffany's communication was also awful, because when she was with Sam, that same stuff was coming up, like the issue with the dog.
The issue with the dog.
The dog is huge. And I know those beds that they were sleeping in were not that big.
They weren't even queen size. They were full size.
They were full size beds. Like, those little fake ass little model apartments. Like, that's all that was. If I'm not sleeping with a husky. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I love dogs.
And those dogs yell. Like, they
and it's
yell.
Huge. There's no room for even just you and your partner. There's barely enough room for you and this person you don't know.
And then fucking Tiff always making like a 5-course meal for the dog, and then not even making anything for anybody else.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was wild.
And then also Sam never said that she didn't like the dog. Never. And Tiff was just like going on. She was like, so if my dog me and my dog are a package deal. If you don't like my dog, I don't even know why we're doing this. We don't even have to live together. We could just stop this right now.
Literally was just sleeping on the couch. Sam was like, I'm just not obsessed with dogs. It's basically like
Sam. Like crazy.
Yes,
it's a husky.
Sam literally was like I don't know. What did she want Sam to do? Like, feed the dog, with maybe put the food in her mouth and let the dog eat it out of it. Like, what does she want? What kind of behavior is, you care about my dog? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
I don't even know that nigga.
I don't even know you, bitch.
Like,
I've known you for 3 days.
What the fuck?
Craziness. Craziness. And
just how she trying to connect with Mildred's son. You want me to just... I don't even know this nigga.
I don't know why, but the grandmother's the baby really just popped in my head.
Like,
the grandmother's the baby. I don't even... What is this? So yeah, that was the couples to start, and they all had their different like ups and downs. Mm-hmm. I would say who was the couple that made the most sense that wasn't original? So like during the matchup where you get to match with somebody else, who was your favorite match?
I think I'm trying to see who was with who.
Ironically, I feel
like Mal and Lexi maybe were they were the least problematic and least amount of drama, like,
and they're still friends,
and
so
they're still friends
sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, and so that is like the main thing. That was the main thing for me. Like, y'all are really like sitting and talking about what you want out of marriage, mm-hmm. and what you want out of life, and you're trying to figure, like, you're going on dates to see if you're compatible. Like, you're doing what the experiment is saying to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know? Everybody else is just so wrapped up in what everybody else is doing, and like what their partners are doing, that I feel like not everybody also got the full experience out of it.
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to like Xander and Yoli, but I wanted to. I really did, because it seemed like they needed each other. But why? Is because Yoli was a fucking bitch to Vanessa from the first fucking episode. And the person that you've been in a relationship for 3 or 4 years chose to have a temporary marriage with someone who was treating you like shit. Nah. That's why Xander and Yoli, 1 and 2 on the villain list for me.
Really?
And then that's one reason. And then playing in Mal's face at that party, all of that happening at the party is another reason. Like,
I think that was crazy. The in front of everybody shit, we're like, let's go have a private conversation over here. Let's do this.
And then she told Mal, just trust me. Just trust me.
Yeah, no, that was a lot. That was definitely a lot. Because they were playing in her face. With Xander, I feel like Xander was so accepting of Yoli's love, and Yoli was so ready to give it, that Xander seems like somebody that just gets easily overwhelmed and like kind of just fell into it. Like, I don't think that Xander can be a villain, because they knew what they wanted, and very early on they knew, and you could tell they knew that they weren't going to marry Vanessa, and even when they got back with Vanessa, they really tried to like figure out what was going on with Vanessa and like let her down easy. So I think Xander handled everything the best way they could, because they did fall in love with somebody else, and then they gave Yoli the opportunity to, you know, be something, and Yoli just said no.
It wasn't that. It was even the whole like Vanessa outright asking Xander questions and Xander averting the truth.
Oh yeah, about them not having sex,
yes, or being like, I don't want to talk about this right now, and things like that. That is what makes them the villain. Like, I'm glad they handled things how they felt like was best for them, but during the experiment, they are just as guilty of lying and withholding truths as Yoli is.
Yeah,
that was like my thing, because that's why I said at the party they were playing in Mal's face and they were playing in Vanessa's face, and that shit was pissing me off.
Yeah,
I'm like, you guys fucking suck. And if this is how y'all are gonna be together, then y'all fucking deserve each other.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't end up together. And it was just, I don't know. I liked Xander because they were very like reserved, and it seems like they were very logical. I just think that Yoli was looking for somebody to bring her out of the relationship with Mal, and like Xander was that person. So I just think like Xander ended up getting kind of like caught in the middle to me.
Yeah, they could have still behaved as a better human.
I think all of them could have behaved as better humans, ultimately, except for Sam, again, because Sam is great. I think, like you said, my favorite mixed up couple was Mal and Lexi, but they didn't have like, they really were just talking. They had no intentions of being together.
Because they both were like,
we know what we want.
I know who I want to marry.
Yeah, and they were just with people that didn't. So now we can talk about the reunion and how everybody ended up. So obviously, The only people that stayed together were Sam and Aussie, and
that blew me. I'm sorry, that was blowing my mind.
I was a little upset about that too, because I think Sam should have chosen herself in that moment, especially that. I'm so sorry, stupid ass proposal where Aussie gave Sam some kind of crystal and was like, "I picked. Let me tell you the story of how I picked out the frog for you. It was all for you. This is a frog that reminds me of you," and like put it in the hand like this. This is more of a British accent. She's Australian, but I can't do that. I can only say Mildred. That's the only word I can say in Australian.
Oh no, Cleo.
No.
every time Aussie got on the fucking screen, that's what I thought. Oh no.
No. The proposal was dumb, and it took a long time. And I don't think that Sam should have said yes, because there's so much shit that Aussie needs to work out, and I really, really hope that
Sam was asking a lot of really good questions. She was asking herself a lot of really good questions, but bitch, I don't know. When I think about like being in that position and like wanting someone, like having someone who wants to change like a lot, but like also them not doing it, I get like loving them and like wanting to be like, okay, well, if you're really gonna work on it, then like, yeah, if this is how you're really gonna be, if you really are acknowledging your flaws and you want to get better, then yeah, let's give it a shot. It just really surprised me like a lot. Like it surprised me a lot, because I'm like, Sam is asking the right questions.
Yeah,
absolutely. And she's saying things that are valid, where she's like, I don't think Aussie's ready to be the person that I need them to be while I'm growing. I don't think that they can grow with me as an individual. And those were all valid points. So I was very surprised when she said yes. Yeah. I was so surprised.
That dinner that they had with Sam's friend, the black person, that was like, I always think of things as in like, who would I invite if this were me? Which friend would I invite to this? Or if I was the friend and my friend was in this, like, how would I respond? She should have given more. I'm so sorry. The friend, I would have gone off on Aussie. I would have been like, you see, this bitch is really just trying to talk to you.
As soon as she said, that's bullshit. And she was like, wait, are you saying her feelings are bullshit?
That was wild. And I think for me, that would have been the final straw as Sam, because I would have just been so frustrated.
Or even the dinner where she just left and didn't even say anything.
There's a lot of reasons. Wow. But yeah, I'm very surprised they ended up together. And they're still together today. So happy for them. I really hope I really hope Aussie has sought out therapy, and that Sam is also getting therapy to deal with Aussie's craziness. Because if I felt like I wasn't being heard to that extreme, I would really lose my mind. Lose it. Ugh.
I have to start screaming and throwing things, and I'd never scream and throw things.
Okay, speaking of screaming and throwing things, let's move on to Mildred and Tiffany, who are no longer together.
Yeah, because Mildred's an abuser, question mark?
So we found out during the reunion that there was a huge fight between Tiffany and Mildred that resulted in Mildred throwing a huge dog gate down the stairs at Tiffany, and then throwing like a glass at a wall or something like that, and almost hitting Tiffany. And Tiffany called the police. And then because of this, apparently Mildred she doesn't have her green card yet, but she's been here and she has like a visa, but she doesn't have her green card. So Mildred is very concerned that this issue being on her record was going to cause her to get deported. And since she has a teenage son that's disabled, she was saying that eventually she might be separated from her son because the insurance that he has, they don't have in Mexico. They don't have the ability to take care of him in Mexico. Yeah. So I don't know what the reason for the fight was to begin with. This is after they got engaged. Mm-hmm. So they got engaged on the show, and then the fight happened, and then by the reunion they weren't together anymore. Yeah. Who knows what was really talked about on the show, on the reunion? What Mildred was like gaslighting Tiffany
and was saying like, you asked me to split the rent 3 ways because of my kid. Like even that being brought up, I'm never excusing an abuser. And I don't know what happened. I don't even know all the details of what happened. I just know they got into a fight. Mm-hmm. But like, if somebody would have said that to me about my disabled son, and you're like, well, we should split, I would have thrown something at them. I would have thrown a dog gate at them. I would have thrown a cup at them. I would have thrown them down the stairs.
You're 35 and you're asking your partner to split rent 3 ways for their disabled son.
Even the whole like, we're together, like we're not together, but we're living in the same house and we have to be around each other, and you bring in hoes over here.
Crazy.
Nah,
very butch behavior.
Again, I would have thrown a dog gate, and I would have also thrown a cup at that bitch, because who the fuck do you think you are and what the fuck do you think is going on here?
What did kill me was Mildred saying, I found eyeliner at the house, so I know you're bringing bitches over. She's like, I don't wear eyeliner. But then she was wearing eyeliner.
There was a TikTok of of Tiff putting on eyeliner and like showing the eyeliner to the camera and then putting it on. That shit had me dead. That shit had me dead.
That was crazy. I'm glad they're not together. They don't seem like they need to be together. Mildred has a lot of issues that she probably needs to work out. Yeah. Who's next? Mal and Yoli. Okay. Yeah. I found out via Yoli. Yeah. Yoli talks about it on the TikTok.
Yoli talks about everything on the fucking TikTok.
They met in Chicago, and then a year and a half later, after being together, they moved to Seattle. When they moved to Seattle, immediately, not even 2 weeks later, a week later, Mal cheated on Yoli. They moved out. They split up after 2 weeks of living together in Seattle. They split up, and they both lived in Seattle. 9 months later, they reconnected and decided to go on the show. So from that perspective, I've been there where it's like somebody's cheated, and you're like, I can't do this. I need some separation. Then you're like, you know what? Let's work through this issue. And you're like, I can work. Me being Yoli, I can work through the issue that you cheated on me. I'm okay. Like, let's figure out what this means for our future. Let's work on it. I can understand that. I can understand how Yoli was feeling the way she was feeling now about everything else. Because she's like,
move past this thought process of
what?
I hope everybody moves past the thought process of like, you cheat on me, let's figure it out.
Okay. Anyway, so this fucking bitch. Yoli acting the way she was acting towards Mal, which is like, are you even ready? You haven't been getting ready. You haven't shown me these things. Now that I know that, I can understand that because I'm going to have a lot less patience for everything you do. And that's my fault, right? It's Yoli's fault for like you said, I hope everybody moves past that. It's Yoli's fault for going back and saying, let's try to make this work. But she did. And so now Mal not being prepared and still not being ready after the 9 months we took to separate and everything, but you were really working for me back, then you should have been doing those things during the 9 months to get me back. So I can understand also Yoli finding love in Xander and being like, this is very honest love. I don't have to worry about that shit. I don't have to worry about Mal getting back together. I mean, getting their shit together. I don't have to worry about Mal cheating on me again because I'm with Xander now and I'm just going to fall into that. I understand that. Do I think that Xander and Yoli like handled everything correctly during the issue and like the way that Yoli treated Mal during the process is good? No, because first of all, as Mal being a black woman, I didn't want to see anybody go through that. I'm still today on Mal's side. At the end of the day, I am on Mal's side because Yoli is kind of a bitch.
And but has a very bad history with telling the truth of things.
True.
Also,
very true. Very true. But Mal has not come out and said anything like against it. And I feel like if I said so-and-so cheated on me and they didn't, especially having the platform they did, Mal would definitely come out and say that they did not do that.
I'm but just let you say what you need to say, bitch. I was there. I know what happened.
Right. True. And that's exactly what Yoli said. That's the reason she didn't even bring it up on the reunion. That's literally word for word what she said about not bringing it up. She was like, Mal knows what they did. I love Mal, just like Mal said to Yoli during the reunion. I have love for her. She will always be a part of my family, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, I'm not going to call that out because I made the choice. Just like I can't call out Jordan for every time, I can't call out this nigga for every time he cheated on me, but like I made the decision to go back, so I'm not going to say anything. It still happened. And so in that case, Yoli's feelings are very valid. I'm just saying, I'm still on Mal's side, but after hearing everything, I can really understand how things went the way they were. And then at the end of the day, they still didn't work out because it never works out. Like at the end of the day, they went through this process, got engaged. Second, after seeing the shit, if they weren't already broken up before the show came out, after seeing how Yoli and Xander left that shit, after Yoli said, well, I don't know the editing. I don't know the editing and continuity, but maybe Xander and Yoli met up first or something. Who knows?
I even saw like behind the scenes of Xander and Yoli. Nah, I'm sorry.
Are you talking about like after the engagement or talking about like
before, like during, like
no,
during? I'm just saying. I'm saying like being a person afterwards.
And
then watching all this stuff, and then having your partner like basically downplay what was
everything
happening.
That was happening.
Everything that was happening.
They fucked a lot,
constantly.
A lot,
yeah.
Like more than anybody else on the show. Actually, nobody else fucked on the show.
And then Vanessa being like, "Oh, I thought Xander was asexual because they're always telling me that they're asexual and like all these other things." I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh my god, this episode's getting long, and I still want to ask questions. Okay. Yeah, that's It was wild. It was wild. It's just seeing like Yoli and Xander like.
Please, on the day of engagement, how they were, how you just said yes to Mal this morning, literally this morning, and you hugged up on this nigga talking about let's do this,
let's run away,
let's just go.
We can do what we want.
What the fuck, nah.
Girl. Crazy. Mm-mm. Okay, now I have some questions for the girls.
Okay.
Would you say that the ultimatum was was very stereotypical of many queer and specifically lesbian relationships?
I feel like there were a lot of queer tropes going on.
Definitely.
There.
Can you give me one? Falling in love fast.
Xander and Yoli. That's a U-Haul right
2
there.
days.
That's a U-Haul right there.
Instant.
Literally, even Mal was like, the timeline is short.
And it was so funny when Mal brought up, she was like, oh, I get the reason why. Because when Yoli said something about how good of a job Xander...
The bank account.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw their bank account? Yeah.
She was like, oh, okay, cool. I got it. So this nigga has money.
I got it. And he looked like every other nigga you didn't ever dated, ever.
Of the Caucasus Mountains.
Of the Caucasus Mountains.
So it's making sense now.
Yeah.
Hated that.
Yeah.
Hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the U-Haul lesbian...
I think Vanessa is a pretty accurate description of like a lost femme. Like, I don't even fucking know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I just know I want to have fun. Mm-hmm. that is a trope. That is a trope that femmes carry, obviously, for a long time.
Definitely.
And like at some point you have a moment where you're like, okay, actually, like maybe I need to chill out.
Yeah.
Like maybe I need to chill out. Maybe I need to like figure out where I'm going, some direction or whatever. But like, yeah, she was just, that's a femme trope right there.
Definitely.
That's why people be like, I fucking hate femmes. That's why some people be saying that.
Yeah.
Because
the flightiness.
It's the flight. And I get it. Yeah. To some degree, I get it. But also like, ride the wave and see what happens. Because as soon as those bitches get comfortable, it's like, oh, you're just a crybaby. Wow.
So that brings me to my next question. Mm-hmm. Who would you most relate to on the show? Because it seems like your answer is Vanessa. Because you've been really fighting for this girl.
No, because like every thing that I've seen, like every TikTok I've seen of like Vanessa's the villain and here's why. I'm like, I just don't agree, mostly because like, just because the values don't align with what you're thinking marriage is and things like that doesn't determine someone's character. Like somebody putting up a front also doesn't determine, their actions do obviously, but then also once they come out and they can take ownership for what they did, then I feel like at some point you need to fucking move on.
Right. And I think by the reunion, that's what I did. Yeah. After I saw the reunion, I really was just like, okay, this makes sense. And I'm glad that she acknowledged that she hurt people on the show. Yeah. And that she has grown from that experience, as I would hope all of them did. Like if Mildred apologized the same way, I would.
You know who should have apologized?
You know who Yoli, and she didn't say shit, and that's why she's a bitch.
Yoli didn't word not one motherfucking apology, even on the reunion, lying about planning to go to Hawaii.
No,
bitch, that had me hot. And then she was like, she did that thing that she would do during the season where she'd start playing with her hair and she'd be like, did that happen? I don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Talk about her. That's why she was all up on Mildred. Like, are you good? Mm-hmm. Because gaslighter to gaslighter, I want to know that you're good.
Bitch. So who do you relate to the most? If you relate to any of them.
I didn't really relate to any of them very much. Like, I related a lot to Mal in terms of like whenever she was talking about, like, whenever she was trying to pick her partner and, like, she was trying to, like, I don't know. It was, like, some of the things that she would say in between and things like that. And her being like, I think Xander's cute.
Yeah, like, I'm down for anything.
Yeah, Malice, mask for mask.
Yeah, mask for mask, whatever.
She's like, oh, you're, like, y'all want to fuck around? Whatever, do your thing.
Yeah,
like,
I
don't know. I
liked Mal's energy a lot.
Yeah, so I felt like I related to, like, her perspective, even, like, when they were having talks. When she was having talks with, like, literally anyone, I just feel like I really related to, like, everything that she was saying. Even, like, when she was talking about Vanessa and she's like, I'm not taking this bitch seriously. I just tone her out because she don't even know what the fuck is going on. That's literally why I'm like, just leave. Vanessa don't know what's going on either. That bitch is like not there. She pussy out facing the world, and that's how she's living life.
Wow. Dude. I don't feel like I relate to anybody in particular. Maybe in some areas, I think I relate to Yoli. In some areas, I think I relate to Vanessa. And sadly, that's it. And they were like the two biggest like polars on the show. But I probably like go back and forth between those two because sometimes I was like looking at Yoli like, okay, I really understand a lot of your decisions, just not the way that she handled them. Because you're right. Like there was a lot of not even miscommunication. There was a lot of deceit.
Yeah, and I just feel like also just the idea, like I watched the season because we watched a few episodes together, and I was like, oh, this shit is messy. I want to watch this. But the idea of an ultimatum to me is fucking ridiculous. And the fact that you would give an ultimatum for something so serious and life-changing is insane. Like either you marry me or we break up. Bitch, we breaking up right then. Like, what the fuck? If I said I'm not ready, then obviously we're not even on the same page right now. And I'm not going to force myself to be where you feel like I should be or you are right now. So even them issuing the ultimatums is like dumb to me. By this day, we need to be this or I'm done. Bitch, then just go. Just go right now. Like, literally just go right now. What was the point of doing all of this? Because then, just how Xander and Vanessa ended, like, it's like...
Oh, you're still not ready?
Vanessa was ready by the end, but Xander had changed his mind. And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like there are healthier ways to, like, figure your shit out as a couple. And if those ways don't work, then obviously you're not in the same page, you're not in the same book, and like maybe you should just go on about it. Like I get wanting to stay because you love someone, but also if you're wanting this thing so badly and you're having to beg and beg and beg someone who gives you everything else except for this thing that is obviously like really going to change your life, then go and find it somewhere else. Like go find what you need somewhere else, because all you're doing is just like Xander and Vanessa, you're prolonging hurt and you're making it worse. Like,
for everybody,
You're making it worse for everybody. Don't give me no fucking ultimatum, bitch, because I'm gonna make a decision you don't like.
Bam.
And that's exactly what has happened anytime somebody has given me an ultimatum.
Okay. Well, that is Lex's opinion on that.
Yeah, don't give people ultimatums. It's shitty.
Okay. Your fave couple? Well, you kind of already said that, Mal and Lexi, but like they're not even really a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, also Lexi and Ray. We talked about kind of this already. Lexi and Ray.
That last screen cap on the reunion where they were like they broke up, and the reason they broke up, is just because Lexi couldn't get over the fact that while they were broken up during their trial marriage, that she had somebody else's fingers inside her for one time. And then after that, when I tell you Ray avoided Vanessa like the plague, that would have been that. Even though I wouldn't classify what Ray did as cheating because they weren't together, it's a whole trial thing.
And she told her right away, like literally called her the next morning
and told her.
Yeah.
And so that's why at the reunion when Vanessa was like, well, I do want to apologize to you. I can't understand how, like, you know, whatever happened. And I hope one day that you guys can just continue on and like move on and just forget that I exist. And when Lexi went consider it forgotten. I was like, nah, this bitch is
You're
bothered.
Not a part of our life.
This bitch is bothered.
Yeah, that was wild. That was really wild. Now Lexi is all over TikTok with her new IG baddie looking LA girl. She's like
kind
edgy.
of mask.
Yeah, now she's trying to do that like soft mask, like hot, big ass titties, but like always wears like pants and a tight top, like a corset kind of vibe. I've been stalking them. I guess they're cute, but it's really giving TikTok couple. It's giving we're together because we look good together.
And then the girl that Lexi's dating made a TikTok, and I was like, okay, first of all, fucking stay out of this.
She was like, hi guys, just to introduce myself.
Oh, it wasn't that. It wasn't even that one. There's another one.
Yeah, she's like, I'm the new girl from Lexi's Lexi's The Ultimatum, like introducing herself, like everybody follow me because I'm now that bitch.
No, I saw a video of her using some TikTok sound, and the caption was me watching the reunion, knowing how everything ends. And she's like laughing. And I'm like, this is, oh my God, you bitches are messy.
And apparently they moved in together while they were both still, like, Lexi and Ray were still married or whatever version.
Lexi seems like a messy bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so.
Why you bring your parents to talk about this? Bitch sounds messy. Like, she just seems messy. And her getting everybody also on the Vanessa hate train and always bringing it up. Also, every time everybody got together, especially when Xander was there.
She just hated that bitch.
Hated her. Keep it to your fucking self, okay? Keep it to your fucking self.
It was a wild season. But it was also, at the end of it, I looked back and I was like, it was boring because I wanted to see more. Like, why is every scene you're talking about the ultimatum? Like, whether you're with the person that you came with or you're with the person you're with now, why is every conversation, okay, marriage, okay, ultimatum, okay, experiment, okay, like these buzzwords? I'm over it. Why don't we show y'all doing something fun and y'all can actually develop a relationship?
Nobody went on any swan pedal boats. What's up with that?
Everything that they did was talking in huge, deep conversations or being all together having these deep conversations about what's going on. Yeah. And I'm sure that those like fun dates did happen. I just wish I got to see them and maybe it would humanize some of these people and their journeys and their choices. Because to me, every episode, it just seemed like we made all these leaps and bounds, but we don't see anything but these massive conversations. And
and also, why is a straight woman hosting the queer season?
Why make it make sense?
She asking at the reunion. She asking mad questions, straight ass questions. I was like, ask them something that's gonna get them heated. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You ask. This is boring.
Netflix reunions are very shitty. I'm so sorry. I hated the Love Is Blind reunion. I didn't really like Queer Love reunion. I thought it was kind of just.
And why were there
nobody
so many
really
pauses?
talked about anything?
And why were there so many pauses? And nobody really talked about anything because that straight woman was not asking any questions to get the gays going.
And that's why TikTok is insane right now. And if you go type in the ultimatum TikTok, you could go into a hole for anybody.
Don't scroll too long though, because in your whole FYP, that's all you're going to be.
Oh my God, I know. I'm about to get not interested on anything, on everything, because especially after me doing the research, no, can't do it. I'm over it now. I'm so glad everybody's not together. I wish Sam and Aussie are the best.
Would you go on a show like that? I
was thinking about that. Yeah. I would go on an Are You the One kind of show. Okay, but I don't think I would go on this kind of show as a couple. I just think that I don't really like people in my personal business like that. Like, I don't mind you videotaping me making stupid decisions while I'm falling in love because I'm not attached. Yeah. But I don't want me and my partner to be like dragged through the mud and us show our worst sides of ourselves and have that on
Xander
TV.
Said, I think you've got enough. I was like, yeah, bitch. Get out of that bitch face. Xander said, I think you've got enough. Like, yeah, now look at you, single and leaving by yourself.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, they were all pretty attractive. I think everybody on the show is attractive except for maybe Aussie to me and probably Tiffany. But I liked all of the other ones, so I'm sure that they're all doing better. I'm not saying like I'm gonna go fuck Xander. No. I'm just saying I feel like they're all good enough people to probably already be in another relationship. And this was 2 years ago. Yeah. So I wish you guys the best. I really just wanted to do something kind of not so fact-based today. We really got some opinion-based things today that we talked about. And I love that we didn't agree on anything.
Yeah, because we agree on a lot of stuff a lot of the times. Sure. Absolutely. I love how she's saying absolutely, but obviously she's disagreeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying that's true. This just happened to be one of the things that we just didn't agree.
And that's okay though.
And because that makes for what? A good podcast episode.
We can't agree on everything because then it would just be boring being friends with you if we agreed on everything.
That's true.
How are we going to stir the pot with each other if we agree on everything?
That's true, bitch. That's true. We would love to hear what you guys thought about the ultimatum. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Your favorite couple, your most annoying couple, whatever. If you follow us on Instagram, hey girl. If you don't follow us on @allyourpleasures_, we're there on TikTok, Instagram, and then that is also our Facebook if you want to join our Facebook group. Yeah. Thank you for riding with us this month so far. We've got one more episode of Queer Love Fantasticness. Do you have anything you want to say, boo?
No.
Okay, go off then. You've said enough.
You've got enough.
I think you've got enough.
I think you've got enough.
We love you. Enjoy your fabulous week. Bye.
Bye.